And map number 2 is underway here. Mirage between Sinners and Spirit. Spirit Academy, for those of us just tuning in, playing under the main Spirit handle, as the main team is over competing in the Boom event in Dubai. So this was a little bit of a surprise. We were kind of wondering how they were going to handle the ping. We got the answer. The Academy team, not so hot on Anubis, and B-Stick very hot, continuing his form here. My guy's feeling lethal with the USP, but Baz getting a little action back. Still man advantage. Oscar fast closing on the flank. It's going to be tough to get a bomb plant here, but Oscar can't waste a ton of time. Well, it's coming down to the clutch, so maybe he's got all the time in the world now. Not Neki wants to take this forward. I actually like this idea. If he catches Shock, he's got a path to A. But Shock has given him so much room. And not Neki, look in both directions, just can't get her done.
Well, B-Stick was good on the first map. That was brutal. The first couple of players. Yet again, no bomb plant for Spirit either. That's a bit of a shame. Means no buy to come. And yeah, I mean, it already feels like the conversation isn't anymore who's going to win the match or, you know, how's Spirit looking in terms of the Pro League spot. It's more like which of these individuals on Spirit are on the Spirit Academy team are ones for the future. We know they produce so many top players, and certainly Magno was somebody who on the K23 team had his moments. I can't say I watched enough of him to pass verdict, but yeah. I'd like to see one of at least a couple of these individuals really show more in this map, because the last one was just too much of an absolute smackdown to feel like we've got to see a lot.
It certainly was. And I mean, we do also have to explain context for this Spirit Academy team. By the time we were watching the last Spirit Academy, with Donk, with Zontex, with Artfrost, the only continuous piece of that is Baz. And that team had been there for, I think, a year by the time we were watching them. They'd certainly been there for a little while. This team, freshly assembled after the promotion of the last one, so they can't have been on this team any earlier than August, July. So it is still a relatively fresh product. These are young players.
I mean, it's also got to be said that with where their domestic scene is at right now, you've got Parry Vision, you've got Aurora coming into good form, you've got that 9 Pandas team that won the event in Serbia. In terms of having options for players, it's actually probably the toughest it's been maybe ever to get players who aren't already on established teams or under contract. We have to dig deeper than ever right now.
I'm also realizing, at least on HLTV, their listed start at 5 does not include Robo. It has Alpha instead, who you might recognize from his time on Sprout. And if I'm not mistaken, he was calling for that Sprout
Yes, I
team.
think he was.
So I'd imagine he's also calling for this team. So that may also play into this not exactly being the best of situations. ZEDKO sweeping up the courtyard presence. Just abusing Robo in that first fight. Keegan will eventually trade it, but look at the space taken. I mean, there's no fear from Sinners right now. They're playing full disrespect. They're fully taking these space, taking these fights, and just dominating.
Welcome to the big leagues. What we're in now. Oscar does get a bit overzealous. Tries to push in towards TV. It's not impossible here. There are AKs on these T players. It's just B-Stick on B. Quirtz is the nearest. He's just gone through the murder hole in window. It's a shame they didn't commit. They don't have the info we have, obviously, but B was their best chance, I think, right there.
Little boost up a window. Little cheeky boost. Little cheeky boost. Ooh, just spotted Quirtz. Just spotted Quirtz. A little tushy getting out of the angle. Trying just to get this on the timing. Gonna get the first kill. Never expected the second player to be there. So it comes down to the clutch for Keegan, but he knows he's at least got a player isolated. Only 15 seconds to try and make this happen. B-Stick has peeled off. Doesn't want to give up this kill. And knows that player could be up in mid. That Molotov doesn't exactly do what Keegan wants. Bomb plant. But he doesn't know B-Stick's already this far out. Still, Catwalk is the right call. It's all about this duel with Shock. Shock seems to have the read. Some footsteps through, but nice shot out. Ooh, almost gets the second bomb. He's playing it open. B-Stick want to stick it. Keegan pulls off the clutch.
That's more like it. That is more like it. Okay. Someone got some life left in them. Looking good. 1 on 2 in the end. See here, Shock really need his teammate actually to take first contact there, but the player on site can never get a good fight. And Sinners have to invest everything behind this to have another buy. Oscar does have an AWP. A couple players on the best weaponry. So a chance here for Spirit to break this cache for some real ecos. And it looks like getting a Palace Waterfall.
I like a waterfall in my palace. Sounds appealing. Maybe not this kind, though, where they have guns. Thinking more like a soothing stream of water.
Where is your palace? Is this physical or metaphorical?
Yes. I'm going to go with yes to that answer. It's all about timing here for Oscar, right? Where does the connector play come from? When does Mirage go through? Ooh, they're out on the balcony. Oscar's going to collect one. That's going to activate the player, but they still play a ramp. Oh, Oscar stays alive. Huge kill from Oscar. They can't unseen him. He hasn't even taken a bullet of damage. Somehow avoiding all danger there. And now, what was looking like a very good potential pinch onto A has just been undone. It's left to Keegan, and this one's a more ambitious clutch than the last. Looking like this one is an impossibility. He's just hoping to make this play.
Such a shame. Not long for this world. And Oscar, beautiful stuff. Just kept taking good duels. He never... It looked like he was going to get pinched because they were playing strong from off connector, but they could never quite fell him before he could pivot. And he was just an absolute monster in the end. The players coming out of Palace are probably thinking, guys, you're in connector. How are we dying from stairs? Not the best day in the office so far for the young guns.
No, it hasn't been. And I mean, you know, in terms of like young gun versus wily old fox, who better than Oscar to put him in their place, right? This is a guy who's been doing it on a high level since he was a young gun a very long time ago.
He's just relentless. Look at him.
He is. I mean, you're seeing it for all of the Sinners players right now, right? This is different to the way they were playing on Anubis. There's a certain amount of blood in the water right now, and they're just not backing off of fights. Like, Oscar not getting out of the window here, he's so confident. Admittedly, he knows it's pistols, but still, he's got an op. It's pistols. You might back away there in other situations, but right now, Sinners are playing full confidence. They abused this team on Anubis, and they see no reason that shouldn't be the case here on Mirage as well.
Thank you for some grisly viewing. What are the scores in the other games? Let's give the guys...
Oh, you want to do an update? We've hit that point
Why
already.
not?
4 rounds in,
Why
5
not?
rounds in.
Presumably they're not as far in as us.
Let's see. Eyeballers 9 are in map 2. They're actually in about the same place. 4-4 on the second map. Eyeballers are up in the first.
3D
So
Max
9
have beaten
as well.
Apex 13-6 on Apex's map pick of Inferno.
That's good. That's really impressive.
That could really change the complexion of this playoffs. If they win, then it's 3D Max or likely Sinners in Pro League.
And this is an Apex team that's just coming off of a LAN where they made the finals in SPU.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
They've been in much better shape recently.
I have indeed. Forza have a map up on space as well in the final one of those matchups. And the map 2 has just started off.
Forza feels like the sleeper team for this, doesn't it? It's the team that you look at it and it still doesn't quite make sense. It doesn't quite look right. But they could definitely still contend for that spot in Pro League. Keep an eye on them.
That's from Shock. Robo's out. Ooh, not Neki comes out though. Keeps his teammates safe. ZEDKO.
Flanking AWP through T-spawn.
Why not? Why not, Oscar? Why not? They haven't gotten the bomb down yet. Oh, they're going to plant it open to him. They have no idea that a player's going to be there. Is Oscar going to find the timing? I think he will. Robo? Oh, what you looking at, bud? Gets distracted by the kill coming through, and now Oscar making a cheeky play. Knows where the last is. Knows where this is. He's got a full back to util too. Can just stick it. Drop the Molotov. Get the stick going. He's got the kit. He knows not Neki has to go up top. There he is. He's just going to stick it. Look at this. Look at this. You're not gonna hit me. You're never gonna hit me. Full confidence from Oscar. And the round claim for Sinners.
It's just starting to feel unfair, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
My God. I just saw Oscar sprinting for T-Spawn and I just knew. You just knew it was going to be a factor. It's just been a brutal display from Sinners. I guess the Spirit got the bomb plant. They're on max loss, so lots them another buy. It's just when we combine the way this has started with the way Anubis, particularly towards the end, was leaning. I think you said it earlier. Not inspiring the greatest confidence at the moment.
No. And it's the way that Sinners are playing as well, right? This is just... You can tell from the way people take angles, take fights, take peeks, when that confidence game is just untouchable. For Spirit right now, it's about breaking that confidence. Okay, Shock almost gets 2 there. They're jumping into Sandwich. Look at this fight. They're just full fighting everything. Sinners are showing no respect. Not an ounce of it. And Baz on this smoke fade. Does he know that B sticks into the corner? Should have a good idea that he could be. Oscar coming out, though. Won't even give him a chance to find B stick. It's the way they're playing. That tells me that this one's, you know... we need to see Spirit find an unbroken run. They need to force Sinners to respect them. That is the first stage of making this a competitive game. Because right now, Sinners are not. Not even slightly.
No. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's just the reality of modern Counter-Strike. It's an open circuit. The regular Spirit team can't be here. I mean, it's got to be said, credit to the organization. This is better than a default loss.
Sure.
At least we're playing Counter-Strike. Instead of forfeit losses galore, as tends to be the case often in this sort of scenario. So, at least we're seeing some Counter-Strike. Problem is, we want to see competition. I want to learn more about these Spirit players, these young guns. And it just feels like, you know, we've got a second division team against a top flight professional side at the moment. I can't put it any other way. It's just not competitive in the way we like our Counter-Strike to be.
No. Unfortunately, not really remotely.
That's better. Work with that.
Get something going here. Quartz under pressure, but they're not capitalizing. They're getting some space in towards mid, but I mean, this is, again, I think the thing that we've just seen for Spirit is they're very timid in a lot of the things that they want to do. Sometimes they got the right idea, but they're very timid right now. The confidence isn't there.
No.
And so they're very slow into things, and meanwhile, Sinners are so ambitious that, look at this, ZEDKO's in spawn. He's all the way through. He's going to flank this top mid player. Robo's going to be dead. There is no if, and, or but about that. Robo does not seem to have any inkling that something could be coming his way. And so indeed, the catwalk presence is gone. It's all about this apps push. It's completely red as well. Players shifting in to help. The cavalry is here. Oscar being that cavalry with the AWP. Well, Quartz burning. Will be forced into the fray, but the health is just not there. MagnaJet's going to force the bomb down.
Oh my.
And won't even fuck that. ZEDKO. Woo, woo. Someone check in PC.
Oh my lord. It's just brutal. Speed at which Sinners are flanking as well. I think that is something, you know, on an even playing field, you tend not to push that much because you just know one player waiting in Palace, you know, he'll catch you, he'll ruin your CT setup. The speed at which Sinners are capitalizing on info is so fast. They're so quick at taking the space. Spirit must be wondering how on earth they're getting flanked every round. It's just because there is no respect. They know that if there's a player holding the flank, they think they can kill them anyway.
And to be fair, there haven't really been players holding the flank either. Oscar gonna collect one. Shock traded though. This is something. This is pressure onto the Auber, and Oscar playing this one a little ambitiously. So maybe finally getting checked for their over-aggression. Another kill into the smoke, and we might have a round on just off the Deagles. Sinners, you know, they might be getting a little over-ambitious here. But they have to bring this through. They have to win this round now. Uh-oh. Quartz has some info. Quartz has some angles, and they're not checking him. They want the fight with B-Stick, but Quartz has some potential to find the timing. He's hoping they'd plant for him. Oh, no. Back's turned. Why is no one watching this? No one's watching it, Alan!
This is winnable. It's a good plan for Robo. This duel is so big on connector, unfortunately. Oh, no. That one was...
That's hurts.
This is agonizing.
That hurts a lot. That hurts a lot. Just no one watching CT, despite the fact that they had no information on it. And no one had been watching CT is the other thing, right? Quartz had peeked out, had gotten away with it, had kind of tucked back in, peeked back out. Ay, that's a tough one.
They just can't do no wrong, can they? My lord.
It's, I mean, going back to the
Sinners
psychology
should have lost
of
that
it.
round. They should have lost it. I mean, Oscar kept peeking stairs, open to Palace. That was meant to be the moment where Sinners are punished for their hubris, for their overconfidence, and they're not. And this is what happens.
Can't have a good tight narrative, you know?
My God.
And that's the problem, is they haven't been punished for these over-aggressive plays, so they're just going to keep doing them. And the mistakes are going to keep being there for Spirit, and Sinners are capitalizing on them. This is a nice demonstration of the difference in levels, right? Making your way into the academy team, okay. Starting to gain that experience, you know, Sotfik shepherding you through as the coach. Okay, great. But going up against Sinners, a team that has been battle-tested in the fires of Tier 2 EU Counter-Strike, it's a different story. And Shock's been here the whole time, so even if they get into a situation where they can plant, Shock's just going to kill Baz. No one's watching this. No one's watching this. Shock just have to show the slimmest amount of patience, and he's got this through. Magno just fighting. That could do something. Oscar gets a kill, though, and now this should be over, and Shock eventually capitalizes as they've lost track of him in the Palace.
I think another way to view it, too, is just how impressive a lineup like Spirit Academy's former lineup is.
Yes.
To actually compete when you don't... I mean, I don't know the exact numbers for a team like Spirit Academy, but I can tell you they are not on competitive salaries with top 30 teams. They don't have all the resources. They don't have the option for players that some of the better teams do. Yet they were still able to compete and beat... I mean, a team like Sinners probably would have lost to a Spirit Academy in fourth with the previous lineup.
Very
They might have even lost. I can't remember the tournaments that well, but they might have lost a good few games to Donk and company. And you can't expect that, unfortunately, from a newly built academy side. There is work to be done, and that's why Counter-Strike is the best game, because you have to put in so much to compete at the top.
Ooh, all right, not Neki. Spreading his squats and Palace there, but he's going to be able to get a one. Still traded instantly by the up on high. There's Scissor Bomb Plant. Keegan not confident in it, waiting for a teammate to get over, but in waiting for a teammate to get over, they're going to leave themselves exposed to Quartz coming back from CT. Ooh, peeking with the bomb there. That's ambitious. Bomb could be planted. Depends on how aggressive Quartz wants to be. But they'll give them some respect in this round, and that's a big kill from Baz. Now they got somewhere to fight from in this post plant. That's not the way to take that fight, Keegan. And so it all falls to Baz. Position known. Bomb not planted for him either. If they succeed in this cross, this should be done so. Molotov on it, kill to follow. And the bomb will be defused for double-digit rounds for Sinners.
Oh, no. They're making these rounds competitive. It's not an instant Spirit get aggressive and win it 4-5 alive. There've been a lot of 2-on-2s, but it just feels the later we go in rounds, the more that experience starts to become a factor. Yeah. Not really the closest to series so far, needless to say. And Spirit, the best they can do is 2. Oscar's just been a menace. He's been everywhere. He's been so aggressive. This is probably the most aggressive I've seen Oscar play for a very long time. And he's just destroyed them in so many rounds.
Why not? Why not? If you can get away with it. Sharks got the first here under bow. Still doing damage. But a 1-for-1 exchange is not bad here. Utility's going to be limited. They've boosted up Oscar. He knows he has a player in Palace. I think Naughty might have spotted him, so the flashbang comes out. But we are going to get a post plant. 4-on-4. This could work. Flashbang over. Robo fighting forward. Robo dead. Tries to take some space, get some information. Tetris sandwich ramp. That's the hold. That's the fight. That's the battle. That's the brawl. And it's working out. The wall has been erected, and a second round will come through for Spirit to give them something headed into the halftime break.
Nothing but the fading light.
We're live in the server. And a repeat of Anubis. 10-2 This could be a quick one. It all hinges on Spirit finding some gumption in this pistol round. Full 5-man play from Sinners. They are not making any secret of this one.
Oh my.
Insta-tank.
It's
Insta-tank.
It's not fair. Okay, at least Baz is fighting back. First frag does go the way of Spirit. Robo taking down the end, and Quirts is just a monster. Oh my lord. Well, it's a 2-on-2 for now. I see if Spirit can reclaim some ground on the side. Naughty is out. His teammate is on short. B-Stick, though, keeps finding frags. And I've got a bad feeling about this for Keegan. Surely he's about to get double peaked. He creeps up close on short. Oscar annihilates. My God. Our Sinners not showing any restraint.
Looking like this is going to be a good one to pad the HLTV ring. If
Is
you're
it
a Sinners
13-2
player.
map one? I forget. Is it 13-2?
It was 13-2. Yeah, they did not drop anything after the break.
Oh, God.
So, after the first map, let's see. Shock had a 1.8 rating. Quartz was 1.63. Oscar 1.61. Beast 1.54. ZEDKO 1.22. Oscar 15-5 right now. That's gonna be a healthy one for the statistics.
Wants to get back on the HLTV top 20.
Why not? It's been a few years, but he's a two-time HLTV top 20 player.
It's just the half by, but
Has to
we're
be.
really struggling to fight on the same page. The flank feels like it could have been some effect, but I think Magna must have made a massive amount of noise. The smokes will fade soon, but there's just so many bodies to deal with. Sinners have so many ways to win this round.
Spam through tech.
Is that allowed? Is that
yeah.
allowed?
I don't know that I've ever seen a spam fight through that spot on ticket. I didn't quite realize it was that penetrable, but you know, the Dig was attempting to come out. He knows the lineup on the plant spot, and Beastie just punishes it. So Keegan in a 1v5 with the scout. And Quartz, unsurprisingly, comes out on top of that matchup. This one's looking done. 10 chances to close here. No money to fight. It's over.
Well, I was going to say they died with honor, but I'm not sure it applies to Counter-Strike.
I mean, look, Baz is showing up well, considering how hopeless the situation
He is actually,
is.
yeah, give him credit.
He's the player who was on the previous Academy roster, so he's the oldest veteran. And we do just have to reiterate, it takes time. These are young players. The whole point of an Academy team is to develop young players.
Yeah.
This is obviously not the level of competition they're ready for. Just circumstances force them into action here. Now let's see if not Neki. Ooh, I was going to say I've overlooked him, but I think he made noise. And ZEDKO, wise to it. A little over ambitious from ZEDKO, perhaps, but the nades are good. Mortar strike on Magnojez. Resmoke on, likely a bomb plant here. Flashbang clearing the jungle. Robo seeing white. Oh, he's got one. A second as well. Here we go. Robo coming alive, doubling his kills. Might just give them what they need. Quartz in shock. Shock has an MP5. An MP5 he's got. Quartz gonna get the first. They try and bring this back. Oh no, Quartz is just doing it to him. He's just doing it to him, but they're planting open. It all falls to Shock, and he's not got the gun for the engagement. Robo with the 3-piece. What a time to find some mojo there for Robo.
I thought he was spotted at first in the cubby, but apparently not. You see some Oscar highlights. Why not? He's had a good game. Well, it's hard not to just feel like we're delaying the inevitable. It's got to be said. Not a great buy from Sinners, so we might be here a little bit longer. Just 2 nade sets. I need to try to get onto the site. And that helps.
Robo gonna be testing again here. Robo? Okay. All right. Where was this Robo?
As soon as it's cancelled, they're giving up the game. We can all see on the minimap. There's 3 on-site proper. One's a top now, that's not an Esky, but
They did this on Anubis though, right? They would just do these pauses, let Spirit spread back out, and then hit.
So as a Spirit, they get so angsty, don't they, for information? They're really...
They know nothing about A. They've only seen the one player Shock peek back out.
and then wait again if you're Sinners. You can see now Notineki's coming off, so whilst it is the heavier lean on this site, it's still a healthy advantage 4-on-2. They want to come out.
Here comes the util. They wait for the smoke to fade, and they're going to hit. A lot of this comes down to Keegan. Gotta hit a shot. Gotta hit a shot. He's got it. There we go. That was the first step. A second as well. Okay, Keegan. Here we go. A little bit of juice from the AWP. Can't hang on to it. But it's a wounded B-stick trying to take down 2 of his teammates without time, without chances. Get the op. They've got it. Successful round for Spirit.
That's more like it.
Just need 8 more of those.
Could have done with that 20 minutes ago, but why not? It's a bit of life out of Keegan. And we forced to wait a little bit longer because surely an eco to come for Sinners. Have a look again what his other games are at, because obviously we are starting to think ahead about what a bracket could look like, especially for Sinners. Still early on map 2 is the other upper bracket game. That is 3D Max Apex. 3D Max will map 2 good. Eyeball is up a map on 9, and Forza Space. So we're going the distance on map 2.
Magnajez has found the surprise. Everybody's here. This is the classic, you go B, I go A with bomb, and it actually kind of worked.
Yeah, I know, the bomb that doesn't commit.
If he just jumps Palace, he might actually get this. All good. All right, you got to come out now, ZEDKO. They're wise to it. Should not get a plant, should not get a plant, should not get a plant. No plant.
It's a good try. Kind of more than a second off that, so why not? Either way, that's what we're here for, isn't it? The guns, the rifles. Gonna be out now for Sinners. As for them, it becomes a question of how quickly can we get this done? How clean can we keep the scorecard? Notineki is very much alone right now.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Keegan.
Downstairs.
I will say Sinners have slowed up way more. Now that there's buys on the other side. So we said the first step of this matchup was making Sinners respect Spirit. There's a little bit more of that being shown right now.
Bizarrely, it's more passive than their CT side. But this is good for them. Look at the mid setup from Spirit. Magnajez just now getting information. Okay, you can call to Keegan. Well timed because the day hit is coming
Oscar's
in
dead.
soon.
Oscar caught. Keegan now hits the first shot. Op now over. That mid push works out perfectly. And it's looking good. It's looking very good indeed. No foothold really here for Sinners. They're trying to find space to get a bomb plant out of this, but everybody's here for the defense. Spirit are not interested in allowing anything over. On to the next shot, just trying to get a kill, something to alleviate, to provide a little bit of space, and it's not gonna happen. 4 players surviving, and here we go. Here's a little bit of flair for Spirit as well.
We're not gonna start saying the C word just yet.
No. We're not even close. I'm just happy that they you know, look like they're in the game.
Some life.
Yeah. They don't just have to be sad about this one. They can get
I don't know, man.
Something to look at.
I don't know, man. It is still a big call up. I think the other thing is that, you know, we speak about a bit of a mismatch in terms of levels of teams. It's also that you normally have to play yourself through levels, don't you? Whereas Spirit just arrived in an upper bracket semi-final of a pretty high caliber tournament. And whilst in this round and the last few, you know, we've seen some good flashes. They don't look individually, you know, totally outclassed. It's viewing the series as a whole, it is still a little bit too much to ask.
Certainly.
All right. When are you going to stop playing with your food, Sinners?
That's the thing, you know, I think earlier it was, but these last few rounds haven't been. They've been trying to find the solution. And maybe there's that thought, you know, just creeping to the back of the head of, okay, we've only got 5 rounds. Certainly not. That's a nice nade early on. Mirage under pressure. Looks like a bit more of a mid-fight going. This is the difference. We've got 2 players coming up underpass now. This is definitely a different look. Much more of a focus in here. Lots gonna ride on Mirage and Baz. I've actually got Keegan coming into the setup as well. Timing's rough, but Keegan gets the kill. That's massive. B-stick able to trade it, but not for the op. He knows he's here, and Baz sticking around. He's gonna get the bench play. Top mid players maybe thought they had some more ground than they did. Robo, though, getting aggressive. It's all about this duel with Shock. It's all about this duel, and he's got it! Shock! Not realizing a player was so far forward. So now a 2v4. A very viable chance for Spirit, and this is where you start to get worried for Sinners. It's been dominant all the way through, but haven't had some bomb plants. Haven't had some rounds.
12-2, was it?
Yep.
Must have been, yeah. So it's going to be 6 in a row. Spirit can convert. And it's also Sinners are not getting bomb plants. Their loss bonus is now maxed. So every plant ensures a buy in the next. And it's got to be said, in this round, a bomb plant does not feel likely. Look at where Not an Eki's playing. Getting a plant on A is surely next to impossible.
Should be. Should be. Interesting there to set up the fight. Quartz, though! Oh, boy. That is just a... That's just a ripper of a headshot. Do they know about Not an Eki? Quartz has got another kill. He's all the way through CT. There's only 10 seconds, though. There's only 10 seconds. They need this kill. Oscar's not got it. That's time. That's it. That's the round. There's not enough time for Quartz to work. He's done some tremendous damage, but now he just has to save. Counter-terrorists win. That could have been the round. That could have been the moment if they have an extra 10 seconds for Quartz to get around to get activated from Ticket. But they didn't. They didn't have the time. That's how Quartz's heroics did not get them the round.
I think Sinners need to start pausing. Because... I mean, it's embarrassing the word if this goes to OT.
Yes.
It's not a good look. And they're actually going to force buy into this around the soul save. I don't like this. I'm not a fan. And they can't default. They have to execute. They don't have the nades to play a strong out round. They've got to go.
Well, they're going straight out. They're going fast. They're trying to chase down. Robo is isolated. There's a player catwalk who can come in to help. But Robo going to be good at giving the ground, giving the space. Not getting caught out by the numbers. That's nicely played from Robo, backing away. Still does feel like his first pick might be the way it goes, and Robo is eventually caught with the bricks boost. Nets one, and Mirage another. Bomb down, a plant at least, but they can't keep the bodies alive, and the bomb still hasn't been planted. There, it's finally in. It's up to Shock to try and clutch. And he's a goner. There it is. It's not the op to take him. But it is the round for Spirit, and now this gap closes to just 3 rounds. We have a game on our hands, Alan.
I can't believe it.
Don't think Sinners can either.
Yeah, I don't think I can say, yeah. They're probably in the same boat. Keegan has warmed right up, man. He was having a tough time on map 1. But here, he is hitting some absolute rippers.
It feels like, you know, we've talked about the psychology of this matchup a few times. For Sinners, it's almost like you didn't want to admit that this is a game. You know, you still wanted to pretend that this is just domination, that you could just bulldoze them. And now you have to have that mentality shift of, we've got to be careful. We've got to go into the playbook now. We do not want this to get to overtime. We need to seal the deal on this game.
I've been in this position a few times in the team speak. You'll be amazed how in the games where you're just rolling and it just feels like you can do no wrong, how little you're actually paying attention to how are the CTs positioning, how are they opening rounds, where are they getting aggressive. And I can guarantee you Sinners now getting, as they get deeper into this half, are starting to now have those real conversations. They're asking each other, okay, what is actually going on? How are we losing these opening picks? What do we need to adjust? Because we're saying they're only 3 rounds from a very bad look for Sinners.
Mm-hmm. Gotta start getting nervous if you're a Sinners fan. Keegan gets an opener. Oscar out of play. Ooh, the story's starting to write itself here. Keegan might just be the protagonist of this one. So, Sinners, whatever you were talking about there, whatever you were trying to adjust there to get things back in, well, throw it out the window. You lose the opening fight. One of your big king pieces out of the round. Ambitious.
Magno.
They've gone to the double up is also interesting. Mirage, we haven't seen him pick it up.
ZEDKO's through. Magno was facing for a second. This duel is everything.
He's going for this fight. He's making footsteps, though. There's no flashbang for it. Yeah, Mirage has it on the angle. Maybe a little over ambitious there from ZEDKO. Could have waited for his teammates to join him. Could have held on to the positioning. Now this gets tough. There's 2 players here from CT. There's an AWP in jungle. This is a really tough bomb plant. And you've got no more smokes. No more mollies. Just have to shoot your way through.
Not like he's facing a long time before his teammates are ready. Fortunately, healthy advantage. And as we're saying, that bomb plant, look at how hard it's going to be now. A good kill from a shock. What is happening? That shouldn't be possible.
They're just winning the fights. They're just brawling now. Bomb gonna be planted. Shock's holding the angle. As they clear, they needed to do it with the time. And Beastic's able to just put a little bit of distance between him and that site. It's all on Shock. He's got the op up. The bomb's planted for him. She's gonna try and put shots down range. A smoke, though, covers off his vision, and he's not got the angle. He's not got the angle. They're sticking it. They are sticking it. Shock. That shot does not land. 10 rounds on the board for Spirit. This one closer, but still the comeback chugs along. 2 rounds. All that separate these teams.
This is game on. Absolutely. That was a 3-on-5 for Sinners. It's a miracle that even went close. Find some fine individual rounds, but Sinners have to open stronger. We need to get mid control with 5 players alive. We need to at least be trading. Can't afford to lose more numbers early. And look at Magno getting aggressive in underpass. He wants to fight.
Magno, he'll get it. He'll get that fight. He'll get that kill.
Love it.
Just a world of difference in terms of the confidence. That's a bit of a hash, but eventually Magno just gets it with the deagle of all things. And look, no one from Sinners was close enough at hand to do anything about it. So despite that extended fight, despite this awkwardness, the map control's lost. If you're Sinners, you just have to sit with this now.
You going overtime? Is this happening?
Sinners starting to believe.
If they don't plant, they look shook.
They could actually just 3-man save here. It'd be the wildest call, but they could 3-man save. Oscar would drop. A Galil.
I don't know what the best option is. I don't envy them having to call this round because Magno just threw the biggest spanner in the works. And that's the thing, they just haven't been able to play out of default. At all. They are saving. Oh my lord. 9 in a row. Won by Spirit. The bye will not be perfect for Sinners. And we are 1 round from overtime.
1 round. Someone's going to have a Mackie, or I think there's going to be 2 Galils on the field, I'd imagine. 1 round. Oh my goodness. 12-2, the scoreline. Talk about some resilience. Talk about some fight. Spirit just needed to get a couple of rounds to truly start to believe. Now take it over the line, young guns.
I'm not surprised Sinners are doing a very grouped call. They can't default at the moment. They keep losing numbers. And this is the move. 4 into Palace. Play the numbers game.
Smoke goes up. They're out. They're out. They're past the nade. But look at the damage. Look at the chunky damage. Bodies are dropping. It's looking so good for Spirit. Everything's coming up roses for the young squad. And now B-Stick and Oscar have to try and pull off a miracle here. Oscar not even on the scene. Bomb dropped in the open. Spirit don't have to move a muscle. They can sit on this and take it straight into overtime. Seen them get antsy before, though. No mistakes now. Not in a 2v5. No blunders. 50 seconds to whittle off this clock. Here's the clear in towards Bauk. B-Stick looking for Notneki. Hasn't spotted him just yet. Smoke out to set up this fight. B-Stick had the read. There's the first. The first piece of the puzzle. Coming back the other way. Bomb picked up as well. Oscar's got this now. Planting it, that's a different story. Because their utility is depleted. They've not got smokes. They need the kills, and B-Stick will not be finding them. It's all on Oscar now. Pressured from all sides. 1v3. Oscar dancing in the smoke, waiting. His cover evaporating, slipping away. Oscar, how can he do this? With 14 seconds, he has to stick this bomb down. He'll find the kill on ticket. That might just allow him the chance. He wants another peek. He wants another fight. The madman. Oh, not enough time. Not enough time. He's missed his window. He's missed his window. And the clock will bring us to overtime.
Can you believe it?
No.
I've watched a lot of Counter-Strike, but never have I seen a series on track for 36-4 in rounds, and then something just goes wrong. Something goes wrong for Sinners. Timeout burn. My God. What do you discuss in the TeamSpeak right now for Sinners? How do you even process what's just happened?
This is one of those where you just, I don't know, say to the team, forget regulation even happened. Just win here. Just win here. Play it right. See what you can do. But, I mean, this is a different Spirit now, right? This is an entirely different Spirit. They looked shell-shocked in the first map. They looked completely battered in the first half of Mirage. And then they find just that little bit of confidence. That knowledge that, oh, you know, these are just 5 guys on the server across from us. We can shoot back. We can make this happen. That's all the difference.
What an advertisement as well for playing it 1 round at a time. Now we're in overtime.
No map is ever done as long as 13 hasn't been found.
So a difference in regulation already. Sinners have managed to get out into mid with numbers. We're still yet to be near splitting a site. But this is a big problem in regulation. Was making good of this mid control. And that surely has to change. We're going to avert their chances in overtime.
Robo. That's a big pick. Keeps him a little clean here. And now the apartments players didn't expect him to come back into the angle. This is falling apart for Sinners. They're overlooking things. They're the ones making the blunders, making the mistakes. And now in a 1v4, his first round of overtime, looking disastrous, but shock. Finds a little bit of juice here. 20 seconds. He's not got the time to do this. Wanted to make a play. Doesn't have the time. Notneki will take him out. And that is now the 11th round in a row for Spirit.
I don't know what happened there. There was a player in ladder for Spirit. And I don't know if Sinners did a lazy check or something of the sort, but that player in ladder was not dropped before the split came in. And blindsided with Sinners. I think you said it. There's just so many gaps in the Sinners gameplay at the moment. Gaps that weren't exposed earlier in this series, obviously. And another very passive round from Sinners as they're playing nervous. They're so scared to give away the opening pick.
This time it's worked out though. They've gotten the fight before. Traded back. Oh, flashbang. Ruinous. Keegan still making it happen. Keegan! Commanding in mid. Pivoting. Pirouetting. Making this his dominion. Shock and Oscar, they found a little bit of space, but down in the numbers. There's no one here to defend. The smoke might be enough to give them the bomb plant, but what about after? It's all the rounds after, and meanwhile, all the while, Keegan repositioning, getting ready for that next salvo. He is taking over this server. He is dominating right now, and it all falls to Oscar in the post plan. At least he has that bomb to defend, and he's going to make a bold play, try and get around in towards mid, but the problem is, well, Not Necky's still here, and eventually Not Necky's going to realize this is the one way the round gets away from them. Still wary of him in towards ramp. Not Necky needs to read this, needs to have the information. There's the spot. The kill on, but they're defusing the bomb all the while. He's not got the shot, and that's 14 on the board for Spirit. Even with the 5v4, even with the initial pick, it's just not happening for Sinners. All momentum has stopped, inertia has set in, and Keegan has taken control.
12 rounds in a row. 12 in a row. We're playing MR12 these days, guys. The definition of a reverse sweep.
That would require them make it happen on map 3 as well, but with this performance on Mirage, I'm starting to believe, I'm starting to have a little faith that Spirit somehow might have done it again, might have found some gems in the rough. He talked about it, you know, this game became about seeing who would be that next piece, who could be that next evolution. Right now, it's Keegan. Oh, and he's got the right read on the next player as well. He knows where it could be in this corner. That shot's not going to land, but he's still alive, still dancing, still buying time for MagnoJez to get around. Movement is prime. Beastic, though, needs this kill, needs this fight, and he's got it. And they might just slip through towards B. They're going to do so, which means pressure back on a Robo, but no, they're actually going back through Ticket. It's a pinch on the Not Necky. And they're realizing this could be the case. You can see the readjustment of the battle lines here from Spirit, and Shock goes first. That's the blunder. Didn't wait for Beastic to get into the angle. Now Beastic stuck, waiting for this Molotov. Can't even get the fight on. His position known. Will allow Robo to go around the world to make sure there's no escape route, no bailout. But Spirit, they're leaving him a little bit of space. They're isolating these fights. There's a chance here for Beastic. There's a chance to make this happen. Bomb's gonna go down. Baz will wait for his teammates. They want to play the post plant. The bomb plant doesn't matter at this junction, and Beastic catches the first. They're on catwalk. Beastic could do this. But no. Baz, the timing, the slip back into the angle, and it's a flawless first half of overtime to find the 13th round in a row and put Spirit onto map point.
3 of them. I can't believe it. I can't believe we've ended up here. And now we're asking Sinners, after with 10 series points, now they're required to defend 3 map points from their opponents. Unthinkable what has happened. But Sinners have to compose themselves. You let this go to nuke. The slate is reset. We're playing a best of 1. We know mechanically, individually, some of these Spirit Academy players are not to be trifled with. You do not want to let it go that far. And the early frag slips the way of Spirit. Good trade from Quirts. My lord, this is so aggressive. So many duels in mid. And right now it's flow the way of Spirit.
Insane. Insane. Insane how much this is spun on its head. B-Stick, he's been the player most in it. Since the comeback started happening, he's trying to gamble. He's trying to float. Knows that just playing isolated is not a winning formula. So he's going to try and hold on to this mid position. If they try and slip through, he'll punish. If not, he'll be able to play with his teammate in the post. Well, I say that, doesn't trust his read. And Spirit are perfectly happy to just put some air in this. Leave some time dribbling off that clock. Make centers nervous. See if they make some information plays. Oh, Robo. Could have been the moment to give it away, but instead, now he's just going to straight take the duel. Look at that confidence now for Robo. A player who started off so quiet on Anubis, even here on Mirage, now taking command and leaving it just a shock to try and pull off a mad clutch. A 1v3, totally out of position, wandering through smoke. That's Magnajez, the first hurdle to overcome, and all three players are committing into this fight. They've got him read like a book. And as the smoke fades, Shock won't even get past the first chapter. This comeback has been written into history. 14 rounds in a row. A 12-2 scoreline. Sinners had 10 map points in a row, and they could not close.